It's been almost 4 months since the LA wildfires, and many people are running into roadblocks as they try to rebuild. Disputes with insurance companies can prolong the recovery effort. Arbitration and mediation can help solve conflicts after a natural disaster without going to court.
Bridget McCormack is the president and CEO of the American Arbitration Association, and Jim Lingle is a volunteer mediator at a conflict resolution institute. Thank you all both for being with us this morning.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Bridget, I want to start with you and talk about mediation. How does that help in these situations, and why would someone even want to consider it?
So mediation is a more efficient and oftentimes more effective and less expensive way of resolving disputes. And not only after a disaster, but in a disaster like this, it's often the fastest way that people can get resolution. And people are really looking for solutions, not new problems. Right. And litigation just sometimes can drag out, be expensive, and cause additional problems. Also, when people mediate resolutions, they have ownership over how the conflict is resolved, and they are much more satisfied with it. We know that from lots of data, and much more likely to comply.
I feel like they'd be more confident, right?
When you have ownership over how you resolve a dispute, whether it's with your insurance company, your neighbors, your government, you are more likely to abide by that resolution because you help craft it.
That makes sense to me. Jim, first of all, we're so sorry. You know what these people are going through because you lost your home in the mountain fire.
I did indeed.
And so, can you talk a little bit about firsthand what you're seeing, what disputes are being brought up for people?
Well, the primary bunch of disputes right now are still in the recovery phase. I mean, we've just scraped our lots and got that. But neighbor disputes.
Oh, and what do those look like? What are neighbors disputing about?
Whether somebody should be able to rebuild higher or as high as they used to.
Okay.
There's disputes over whether they ought to build, the city ought to build low-income housing in some places like the Palisades. Not a very popular idea. Insurance companies are very slow to pay, and so there's disputes there. I mean, every way that a person can get into a disagreement, they manage to do it.
Sure. And I'm sure with the insurance companies as well.
Yeah.
Yes, the insurance companies, some of them have been exceptional. Some have been very slow to pay.
Okay.
And that's creating financial hardships for the people who are trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Okay. So there's tons of disputes of many different kinds, as you laid out, Jim. And again, we're very sorry for your loss as well. But Bridget, at what point in the process do homeowners or small business owners say, I'm not going to move forward with a trial or a suit, I'm going to do arbitration?
You know, the earlier the better. Okay. In fact, mediation even before arbitration. Okay. I mean, arbitration is also a faster, less expensive way to get a resolution of any dispute, assuming both parties are willing to go to it. Mediation is available to anybody and very quickly. And there are lots of organizations that provide it, and the AAA has provided mediation services after natural disasters across the country, hurricanes and other events like that. But there are community mediation centers that are available to people with all the different kinds of disputes that Jim talked about. In addition to those in the sort of the sort of first phase after a disaster, once people start rebuilding, there are often additional disputes, right? Disputes with contractors and more disputes with neighbors about that process. Right. And community mediation centers are places where people can, again, take ownership about their resolution of their dispute, and they can do it right away. So sooner the better is my answer, and I bet Jim probably agrees as a mediator himself. Yeah.
The sooner you can mediate, the better off you are, and you don't need a lawyer. Mediation is mediation is basically facilitated negotiation.
Right.
And the mediator is the facilitator, and the people themselves get to negotiate their own resolution. Nobody imposes it on them.
Right.
They get to find their own solution.
You just have to have people show up in the right mindset sometimes.
Or a skilled mediator.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's who has the good mindset.
Yeah. I can tell Jim would be a good mediator.
Yes.
You're very calm.
Very calm.
You're waiving fees for fire victims. How can people access your services, Jim?
Well, there are 5 mediation centers, community mediation centers, in the greater LA area that are all part of a program that AAA has put together, the American Arbitration Association has put together. We're in the phone book. They could probably contact AAA and say, how can I get in touch with these people? Yellow pages.
Is that so?
Okay, right. Is that a thing? Yeah, wait.
I like it. You're old school, Jim.
Yeah, Jim said, we're out there. You'll find us.
You can just ask ChatGPT for the yellow pages listing.
Yes, there you go.
Community Mediation Center.
Nobody have yellow pages anymore?
Well, Jim, we are wishing the best with your own personal recovery. And Jim and Bridget, thank you for being with us this morning.
For more information on the resources available, you can also check out our website as well as the yellow pages at kcalnews.com. Click Seen on TV. Thank you both.